Pocket aces are normally a super duper strong hand in no limit Texas Hold'em, unless 3 other crappy hands see the flop with you, as Mariano is about to find out.
5, 4.
I gotta defend for the buttons. For the buttons.
Good luck, good luck.
All right, Mike.
2 on 2.
All right, Mike. It's a team battle.
We're playing 25, 50, 100, no limit Texas Hold'em. In this hand, I think it's Mike X and the hijack who puts in the 100 straddle, so the positions are a little bit funny. I think it passes through Mike X, and then Mariano raises it to 500 with pocket aces. Then, Jungleman, in the small blind with the 5 of diamonds, 3 of clubs, decides to call. That's a little bit loose, a little bit aggro. Brown Bala, in the big blind with the 9-6 offsuit, decides to call as well. They are playing the stand-up game at the moment with some other abnormal rules. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. Maybe they're highly incentivized to get in there and gamble. Then Mike X calls too, in the hijack. Mariano sees the flop in position with pocket aces against 3 junkers. Let's go to the flop.
Check.
We've had a crazy number of aces so far. Mariano picking up aces again. I mean, we're only an hour into our show, and I feel like we've seen aces 5 times. Mike X with top pair. A little bit of something for everybody. I mean, Jungleman with a pair, Brown Bala with a pair, Mike X with a pair, Mariano with the biggest pair.
The flop comes king of clubs, 6 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds. They check around to Mariano, who continuation bets for $1,000 with his pocket aces, backdoor nut flush draw, which seems perfectly fine and standard. And then Jungleman shows us why he's playing the 5-3 offsuit. He makes it $3,800 with bottom pair, backdoor straight draw, backdoor really bad flush draw. This may seem overly insane, but this is actually a pretty reasonable hand to raise with because Jungleman is actually going to turn a decent amount of straight draws and sometimes flush draws, which every once in a while will bail him out. Not this time, but every once in a while. And when you check raise a hand like this and get called, your 5 and your 3 are almost always very, very live. So it's a pretty reasonable hand to go for the raise. Also, you will get the players yet to act to fold out a lot of their 1-pair hands or hands that just have some equity, like Queen Jack of clubs, or perhaps this 9-6 that Brown Bala has. So it's a pretty cool play that makes some better hands fold. It cleans up your equity against hands that have good equity against you. And when you get called, which is not a guarantee, by the way, you are just going to win the pot a lot of the time. When you do get called, your outs are usually pretty live. So I like this play from Jungleman. Let's see how the other players proceed.
Dan, how much you have behind?
Jungleman does Mariano a favor. By kind of getting out the rest of the garbage out there. I mean, if Jungleman just calls and the other 2 players call, Mariano's got a lot of cards to dodge, right? All those 2-pair for everybody. And all the trips, right? A king, an 8, a 9, a 6, a 5, or a 3.
It has nothing to do with you.
Would have put Mariano in 2nd place.
There's nothing.
But instead, now he goes up to almost 80% equity.
Your button.
I'm fighting for. We're fighting. We're just fighting.
Yeah, you don't actually lose less if either the other person wins the button. You lose the same either way.
Got something
Just
good, Mariano?
We make more if you both lose, but you guys don't lose.
I don't know. You telling us what you have?
Yes, I don't know.
It's a weird spot to say I don't know. I don't know call.
Do you think that Mariano saying, I don't know, and then calling indicates anything about the strength of his range? Maybe it's really face up. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Let me know what you think, though, in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, click the like and subscribe button for me. And the notification bell.
How could it not be the I don't know call?
Oh, pardon me, Mike X actually in there. I thought he folded.
I don't know call.
But as you can see, he has actually made the call.
Brown Bala gets out of the way. Mike X, it's a little bit confusing from the graphics, decides to call with the King 8. I actually think this King 8 needs to just fold. It may sound a little bit nitty to fold this, but you have to realize when Jungleman check raises, he's going to have a lot of very good hands, like random 2 pairs and sets, high equity draws, like flush draws, and then a few junker bluffs like this one. But then also, Mariano is going to have some good hands too, like ace, king, king, queen, king, jack, all of which are probably going to stick around. So this is a spot where Mike X is either way ahead or way behind. And the problem is when he is way ahead, he may or may not be able to even stick around until the river all that often, because just imagine a diamond comes and someone bets, or a straight card comes and someone bets. Unless he improves to 2 pair or trips, he's probably going to get bluffed out of this pot. So for that reason, I think the king 8 just needs to get out of the way. Now, back around to Mariano. He decides to call, but I think perhaps in this spot, he should have put in the re-raise. I know it's really, really bad when you do just run into these sets, but you have to realize pocket kings probably is not in very many of your opponent's ranges because they would have re-raised that pre-flop. There's a chance they decide to just make a weird lead if they have a set or 2 pair. I don't think it's going to happen, but sometimes that will happen in very multi-way pots. And I think you're going to be against a lot of hands like straight draws and flush draws and just top pairs. So I think if I was in Mariano's shoes, especially if the opponents are overly loose and splashy and aggressive, I may just re-raise immediately. I know you often don't want to re-raise in position against check raises that should be from strong ranges, but if there's ever a spot to do it, given Jungleman only has 20,000 left and the pot's already starting to balloon, I think I'd probably just get it in immediately. Calling's, of course, fine too. Definitely don't fold. Let's go to the turn.
Aces are still good. Jungleman now with a straight draw.
I'm going to check.
Jungleman now checks.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sure it'll be nice for her to catch up with all those guys too.
Yeah.
8,000.
Mike X is going to bet 8,000.
Jungleman recognizes he's probably in very bad shape. He also recognizes it's kind of easy for someone to have a straight or 2 pair that is definitely not going to fold, or a very high equity draw like a straight and flush draw that's not going to fold. So he checks. And then Mike X makes a very interesting play of betting 8,000, a small bet. I really don't know what to make of this. I think this is a spot where when people lead, they're often either very strong with a hand like 2 pair that's vulnerable to being outdrawn, or they have a high equity draw, or they have a hand like Mike's king 8 that doesn't really know where it stands, but also doesn't really want to let the river come for free. That said, this is not a particularly good play with this type of hand because when you get called, you are going to be drawing thin or dead. And every once in a while, the draws decide to shove it all in, and you're probably going to fold the top pair, no kicker, and you'll be folding out the best hand. So I think Mike just needs to check and probably fold this hand to a bet, which is why he probably shouldn't have called the flop raise to begin with. Let's see how the other 2 players respond.
Mariano doing very little betting with his aces, have you noticed? He's just letting his opponents do all the betting for him. And he's getting paid. He makes the call. 29,000 in the pot now.
Mariano decides to just call with the aces. And kind of like on the flop, I don't think it's all that bad just to shove immediately, given there are tons of draws available. It is a little bit interesting that he has both the ace of diamonds and the ace of clubs in his hand, because he knows it's less likely his opponents have the nut flush draw, which is a hand that would always see the flop and likely see the turn in this situation. So that should make his opponents tilted a little bit more towards value. So for that reason, I think he should probably err towards calling, with the idea that if Jungleman then goes all in and Mike X then goes all in, you can fold and sidestep a spot where you're going to be running into straights and sets and 2 pairs. So I like his call. Let's see what Jungleman does.
And you've got to be a little bit wary if you're Mike X, thinking, you know what, I don't think top pair is the best hand anymore. Jungleman's getting an okay price, but he's getting an okay price against these 2 exact hands. But if he's up against diamonds, he could be in a world of hurt.
Jungleman calls as well. And at this point, this 5-3 seems a little bit splashy. I think he is going to have to hit a straight or 3 of a kind in order to win the spot. 2 pair is not necessarily good. It probably is, but it's not necessarily. So even though he's getting really good odds, the fact that he's very shallow stacked in this spot, I think is going to make him want to fold, although it's certainly close. Ugh, nasty spot for sure. Jungleman decides to splash around, though. Let's see if his gamble pays off.
Mamma mia!
And he gets there.
Juice.
Look at that. Jungleman showing us how it's done. Mariano can't like seeing that card.
The river is the 4 of diamonds, giving Jungleman the straight, and he rips it all in for 12,000. You may say, doesn't he have to worry about the flush? He does, but you have to realize that he has no chips behind. He only has 12,000 into a pot that's already quite large. So while he is going to lose anytime his opponents have a flush, he's going to lose anytime they have a flush anyway, right? Because he's not folding. So this is a spot where you certainly cannot count on your opponent's value betting 2 pairs or sets at this point. But if you do shove, your opponents will likely call with those because they're getting really good odds. So this is an excellent spot for Jungleman to shove.
Jungleman bets his last $12,200. Technically, he's got 25 behind, but
Small fucking magic.
Mariano can't beat much. Keep in mind, Jungleman raised on the flop. So you start thinking, okay, what kind of hands is he raising with on the flop? Then calling the turn with, and now betting.
What you got, Mariano?
Not much. Just trying to see if there's any way I'm not going to fold my cards.
King 8 folds, and then Mariano is in a nasty spot with the aces because he's getting really good pot odds. The fact that he's getting really good pot odds, though, I don't know if that matters that much in this spot because it's hard to find bluffs for Jungleman. And the problem is he might be jamming even stuff like 2 pair or sets if he has it at this point because he realizes he's certainly not folding, but he wants to get value from aces or ace-king or perhaps marginal 2 pair. You all know I'm a sucker for pot odds. I certainly would not fault Mariano for calling, but I do think it's probably okay to fold in this spot because if you consider Jungleman's check raises on the flop, it's going to be a lot of hands containing diamonds, which got there, even though I know you block it with the ace of diamonds. It's also going to be a lot of cards in that straight range, like 5-3 or 5-4 or 7-4 for all I know, 7-5, stuff like that. And for that reason, I think it's just kind of hard to find bluffs. So what would the bluffs be for Jungleman in this spot? I think the bluffs would be somehow, some way backdoor clubs. Like ace-3 of clubs, maybe? Maybe he turns a king into a bluff. Like imagine Jungleman has king-queen and decides to bluff it. That seems crazy given it's very easy for Mike X to have 2 pairs straight or set, right? So I think it's really, really hard to find bluffs. Look, I hate folding. I hate folding its good, strong battling opponents like Jungleman, but if there's ever a spot to fold your aces, I think this might be it. Let's see if Mariano can find the fold.
It wouldn't be the first time. Anything can happen.
You're a true friend.
I'll be afraid to tell that
But if I had to bet $20.
20? The pot's 50K, bro.
No,
At least
did.
spend a
Already put 20K.
Yeah, but your bet's
20
gonna
on
be
top of
proportional. $20 on top. $20 on top of the
Make it 25, but you can at least give a chip. Yeah.
So we don't have to change back.
There you go. Sorry, guys. 1 minute. I'll be done.
$5-4, by the way, had already gotten there on the turn. The obvious draw diamonds, though, good. And Jungleman, if he was worried about diamonds, certainly isn't worried now. Mariano does make the call, sees the bad news, and Jungleman wins himself a nice pot.
3-5.
Just under 62,000 in the pot, headed over to Jungleman.
Nice hand, brother. How much is it? 12-2.
This is G. This is
8,000 with 3-5.
because there's so much in the pot.
Yeah, that was a gut shot.
I had a gut shot in a pair.
What'd you have, Mike?
King.
I had a gut shot in a pair. What are you talking about?
I had
king?
a 6. I had a 6.
That was good too.
I didn't think anyone had 2-pair, to be honest. You think you think they had fucking 2-pair?
Okay.
Mariano said king wasn't good, so I'm gonna guess he had 2-pair.
Mike, you lose 1,600. Worse.
Mariano said a king wasn't good.
No, I didn't lose. I fought. And I think it was a draw.
Man, he did not have better than fucking.
He called you as worse than a king?
He could have
Bro,
ace king.
come on.
He called me with a king or something.
2-pair maybe.
He did not have 2-pair.
200 or 300?
I'll bet that he did not have a set. I'll let you like
How much?
5 to 1.
Okay,
Wow.
$100 here.
Progressive.
Mariano cannot find the fold. I certainly don't fault him. And Jungleman, with the 5-3 offsuit, scoops a massive pot. Thanks for watching.